This is Becca, and I'm going to click on, where's your name? I'm looking for your name here. Click on your link to your class website, and everything loaded very fast, so there were no photo issues that were too big that needed to be sized. Let's look at the list that Jamie gave us. Clarity of communication, the purpose of the site, and the target audience. By looking at your title, your logo out of the classroom, this is a website designed for users outside of the classroom, so that would probably be students, parents, teachers, And then after I assume that, I'm going to read this down here. This is a site being developed for the use of teachers, students, and community members. So it was pretty immediate to determine who it was for, and then the purpose of the site out of the classroom. Kind of self-explanatory. It is a site meant to be used out of the classroom. Moving along to content. As far as I see, I don't see any copyright violations, any pictures or anything taken off another website that would be copyright material. For the content, is organized. It is very organized, and an organization is what makes a website, I think, effective. Just in any other thing, if it's organized, it's going to be somewhat effective, because it's consistent, and people follow along easy with consistency. Error-free. Well, when I first looked at your website, I got to reading this first section that I just read, and then I read on this section of the site will be what the site is all about, as no one ever stops learning, neither will the site stop growing. And then what it is about will develop over an indefinite amount of time until I post more about the site. Please enjoy the dummy text. I didn't really read through that. I just kind of started looking, and I was like, what in the world? And it is exactly what you're calling it, dummy text. But I think maybe you just did that so you could see what the site would look like. But for future reference, if you're going to use the site, take the dummy text off, is what I would think, before your community members and parents and teachers and students use this, because it's very confusing, I think, to look at it. But just to see it, so you can see the effectiveness of how the website looks with the different amounts of posts. It does show what the website will look like when it's fulfilled with everything. But as far as error-free and typos, I don't see any other than the dummy text. Accessibility. Appropriate load time. Yes, everything I clicked on, everything loaded very fast. Is it easy to locate the contact information? I think it's very easy, and that's something that's important when using a website, is making sure the contact information is easily found, and you can tell your navigation is up here, and that contact is one of the big bold, or one of these big words, which makes it even easier to locate. Consistency. Is there a consistent look and feel? Definitely. Every page is laid out the same. Navigation's the same. This big box is the same. The little box is the same. The heading's in the right place. Very consistent, laid out website. And again, this makes it effective to use. Mainly, I think, to make a layout very consistent and very easy to use is super important for community members. As teachers, we get, you're not some teachers more than others, but you do get some technology experience. And as students, they get a lot of technology experience. Maybe not some, but most. But as local community members, you don't know who you're dealing with. So I think it's very important, if you want to have community use it, to keep a very simple, consistent layout. And that's what you did. Navigation. Is there consistent navigation on all pages? Yes, most definitely. Consistent navigation. It doesn't move anywhere. And it's right there in the center of your attention in bright blue, so can't miss it. User feedback. Hover. Yes, when I move my mouse to each section, it definitely lets me know which section I'm clicking on. And it's not just the word, it's the whole box, and it's a different color. And I really, really, really like that. I can tell you had some experience, because I would have never known how to do that. Links. Are the links obvious to the intent and destination? Yeah, from what I can see, they are. Moodles, just want to take me to a site about their Moodles. Contact, a site about how to contact. The about section about the website, and the out of the classroom learning center, whatever the learning centers are for. And links, as far as links, the only one I saw was this Moodle link, other than your navigation links, and it works. So yeah, no broken links. Is it convenient and obvious to maneuver among the related pages? Yes, it's very convenient the way the place is located in the center and right above the content information, which makes it easier to navigate because you're looking at your information and then the navigation bar is right there beside it. Is there a clear visual indication where you're at? Yes, there's a couple indications. There is this indication. The hover has stayed on the page that I'm at. And then there's this indication here, which tells me about the section, which Moodle is famous here. And then there's this thing here. So, yeah, there are a couple different indications that let me know where I'm at. Dead links. Oh, I already did that one. Is the page length appropriate? Yeah, I think that it is very appropriate lengthwise. It's not too long, not too short. But again, all this text is fill-in text, so if you were to get rid of all of it, it would be kind of short. But it just depends how much information you want to post on here. As the year would go by, I'm sure it would fill up. But everyone has a starting point, so filling it in like this does let the people evaluating see what it would eventually look like. Visual presentation. Is the most important content easy to identify at a glance? And I do believe that, in my standpoint, it is easy to recognize at a glance. In a way, I lost my train of thought. I just saw my little boy walk by the door. Most important content easy to identify. Yes, by looking at this page, you think that this big box here is the most important. It's bigger, it has a different color heading, and the text is black, so it's bold, it stands out. And then, as I would look at this, I would recognize this as the second most important. It's smaller to the side, and there's like no major heading that's a different color. So, yeah, and I can tell that this is the main content for the site, but this bigger box here is the most important. Easy readable text. I think that the black text here on the white background is very easy to read, obviously black and white, and the white on gray is easy to read. Maybe some people with eye problems may not be able to think it was easy, but with the dark gray and the white, I think it's fine. The only thing that I think is a little hard to read would be this, just because it's white and then the blue is fading to white. It's a little bit easy to look over the white text there. Clean and clutter-free layout. It's a very clean and clutter-free layout. You don't have a bunch of things going on the side. All your information is appropriately spaced and kept to the center, which is where the eye tends to lead to first when you click. Another thing I was going to mention about your navigation, and I think this is a very effective way to use navigation, is this bottom section. When you're at the top and you click on something, and then you're there, and you need to continue on down to read and read, rather than make the user scroll all the way back up, that's very convenient to have this navigation page down here. And there is even a hover on the bottom as well. So I just wanted to mention how effective and useful that would be to the users using this. What I don't understand, there's not really anything in here I don't understand. And what could be altered to make the site better for user experiences? I really can't think of anything other than maybe that this text is a little hard to recognize at first. But other than that, I can't think of anything to make this a better way to use.